What's going on, guys? Match reaction. Liverpool 1, Man City 1. Steve, I just got a rant for a second. Okay, so let's start with the block on McAllister that wasn't called, right? So I'm all for doing, I'm all for screens and blocking, especially on set pieces. I feel like it's a good tactic to use, and that's fine. But just recently in the Carabao Cup final, they called that against Endo. There was a goal. I think it was the Carabao Cup final. There was a goal, and Endo shielded off a defender, got his body in the way, and then they called it a foul and it was ruled out. Okay? That didn't happen today. Ake shielded off McAllister, no foul was called. Okay, so it's fine. It shouldn't be a foul anyway, but you got to call it equal one way or another. Okay? Then the high kick. Okay? That in open play, that's a foul any day of the week. So why is it not a foul now with the game on the line?
Are you asking me?
Like, why is it not?
They checked it. So the only thing I can think of is that because he got the ball. But I've seen other instances where you can get the ball, but you're endangering an opponent.
Exactly.
With an extremity. And that appeared to me what happened there. They looked at it rather quickly.
It was dumb quick.
Way too fast. Way too fast.
Dude, all I can think of is you take that and put it in open play. Regardless if he won the ball or not, they would call that a foul because of they might like review it and give him a yellow. It's not just like his boot tapped him. He like the bottom of his cleat like scraped on his chest.
Yeah,
right? That's
studs
legit.
to chest. That's 100% legit. It's not like leg or, but even if it was, let's just say it was
so much less.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know the actual rule on that. Here's the thing. He got the ball. There's no doubt he touched the ball. But it's about, I don't know, there's something in the rules, isn't there, about endangering an opponent? Like it's a wild play.
It's the follow through. It's called all the time.
Yep.
Curtis Jones stepped on the ball earlier in the year. His follow through hit the guy's leg. He's a 3-match ban.
Yeah, no, that you're absolutely right about that. And then also the follow through on Walker with Salah, which wasn't called. I know it's a smaller scenario, but all of these things, these little things add up. And the conclusion that you come to is, I believe we deserve the 3 points there. I said it before. I said it on the Sunday summary earlier. I'll say it again. A draw is not good enough. It's not good enough. It's very disappointing to not come out of that with 3 points. You can blame the refs. We can certainly blame the refs. There was some weird calls, but you have to be able to put the ball in the net when you have chances like that, and you're a professional player.
We had so many chances, dude. So many chances.
Kyle, we had 19 shots. They had 10. We had double their shots. We had double their corners.
Not to mention how many
more possession.
Not to mention how many times Diaz or Gakpo or Nunez got stuck with the ball just under their feet in front of goal.
Don't mention Cody Gakpo on this stream. I don't know what he's doing. I don't know why you'd take Nunez off. First of all, Nunez does not get tired. So you do not need to take him off.
I don't know why he did that.
You bring every other change was brilliant. Every change. The game was managed perfectly, I think. Because you bring on Robbo to turn on the Jets. Gomez
ball to Nunez, bro. You can't. That was the best chance of the game. That is going over in my head. Van Dijk pushing forward, lays it off to Robbo. Robbo's cross pinpoint. Darwin, all he has to do is touch it, and the keeper saves it somehow.
It's a good save.
It's a great save.
In that split moment, Darwin just has to touch it. And that's what he did. He did his job. You got to be in the right place, and you just got to put it on target, and that's what he did. So that was just a great save. But Diaz, if Diaz wasn't an absolute workhorse today, like he always is, I would be very, very upset with him for missing
Dude,
chances
yeah,
like that.
you
But he
you
just
said
didn't
something.
stop. He didn't stop.
You said that like 3 games ago. You're like, "I think the way Diaz worked today, he's like now my new favorite player." And there was a moment in the game. It was actually at the end too, when the time between the corner from the VAR review and then the last corner of the game, where him and Gakpo on the sidelines were just like fighting for possession and keeping it. But then there was that run he had where he takes on Rodri and Walker,
Mhm.
and he gets around Walker once, makes Rodri fall, and then just like does a little dummy with the shoulder and makes Walker spin all the way around. That run there, that made me feel like we were going to win the game. That run in itself. I just don't know why I feel so robbed by this game when it was a very entertaining game. Both teams played well.
It was.
Why do I feel like we were robbed, Steve? Why do I feel that way? When the ref let the ref let him play. I don't think the ref on the pitch in like just the play to play contact made bad calls. I think everything was really well called, with the exception of those 2 instances. I'm just like, why? And it always comes down to either a VAR decision or not reviewing something that should be reviewed. I don't know. I'm just ranting at this point. I'm just pissed off.
It feels like we were robbed because there were 2 instances where you expect fouls 99 times out of 100. Maybe not 99, but you expect fouls the majority of the time. They both weren't fouls. The
Yeah.
follow through with Walker, and then who
Which
was it?
wasn't even that
Doku?
bad.
No,
Yeah,
no, it
Joe,
wasn't that bad, but
it
like
wasn't that bad.
you still can't do that.
Right, yeah.
I
No.
don't care what the fixture is. I don't care how high stakes the match is, how even it is, the legendary status of the managers. You still have to do your job. Okay, so let's
Absolutely.
just say the Walker one wasn't a foul. It's unfortunate for Salah, and he followed through with his studs. But let's just say that wasn't a foul. The other one definitely is.
Definitely. Definitely. It has to be.
It's foul play. Now,
It is a foul. Now, this is where I get pissed off. So listen to this. This is why I always say, imagine if it happened in open play, not in the box. It's a foul, right? We know that it's a foul. Follow through was a foul. Does it change your decision as a referee if the same foul occurs in the box versus outside the box?
it does for these guys. Absolutely. Because there's too much emotion. They have too much emotion tied in these moments.
So no,
They
I'm not
forget how
even
to do
talking
their
about that.
job.
So I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking like, let's bring this to just him thinking to himself, Michael Oliver. Okay, it looks like a foul, but because it's in the box, is this enough to give a penalty? Like, are they valuing penalties more than just normal fouls when they should just be looking at it objectively and saying, is that a foul? Oh, he's inside this white box here. Okay, it's a penalty.
That's what I'm getting at. If you're absolutely right. That's what I'm getting at. So, because it's in the box, it changes his decision. But it shouldn't. Because your job is not to look at that line in live time. That's why we have VAR to go back and see where fouls were and double check offside fine margins. Your
Yep.
job is to determine, is this a foul or not? He determined that it wasn't. And then the guys, the idiots upstairs, determined the same thing.
I would like that audio to be released. I
We're
want to hear.
Are they
I want to
watching
hear
the
it,
same game we are?
dude. Listen. I can see why they wouldn't give it, right? But that doesn't make the decision right. Maybe it's let's go to the chat. What are people saying here?
Yeah, look, we're gonna need to figure out the rule book, but I've seen that called so many times, Kyle, and you make a great example of it. Curtis Jones got a red for that. Something not high.
Yeah, no, no.
So what are we doing here? Also, yeah, we're gonna get in the chat here. RDO McDodge says, listen, it's an absolutely farcical decision, but Gakpo on ruined the game for us. Robbo Nunez is ripping City apart. Bringing Gakpo on was In hindsight, he's useless. He was completely useless. What was he doing? He wasn't pressing. He didn't take his shots when he had the opportunity. He got a tap in, Kyle, and smashed it off the bar.
Okay, but Trent has done that before so many times. So many people do that, dude.
But we're not talking about Trent.
I know we're not, but I'm just saying it's like, okay, sorry. Go ahead.
We put the ball, another reason why you probably feel robbed is because we put the ball in the net 3 times. 2 were
Yeah.
offsides. But like
Stay on
it felt like
side.
a win. It felt like a win.
It felt, dude, it completely felt like a win. I'll tell you one thing though. When City scared me so many times. They got the way they pass the ball, the way they progress the ball up the pitch is so easy. I don't know if that's down to us like pressing and having players out of position, but it was stressful when we moved the ball up the pitch. They moved the ball up the pitch so perfectly. All right. Stu, what's up? It's a clear pen, Scottish Sevilla fan. It's clumsy and stupid, but the game was brainless. Think it was more due to not wanting to lose. Dermot says robbed 3 times. Spurs, Arsenal handball. Now this game.
We had 20 shots today.
We had so
on
many
Manchester
chances,
City.
dude. We can't blame
We
the
put the
loss
ball
on
in the net
team's
0
game.
times from shooting, Kyle. We scored a penalty.
What are
We
you
can
talking
blame
about?
the refs, but we can also blame ourselves.
No, what are you talking about? We put the ball in the net.
We didn't score a legitimate goal today. We
Like a
scored a
legit
penalty.
goal. Yeah.
Yeah, that's not good enough. So we have
No.
ourselves to blame. We can blame
Right.
the decisions. We can blame injuries. There's so many things that we can. There's so many reasons, not blaming, but there's so many reasons why we didn't come away with 3 points today. That said, they put in a great performance, especially that
They
second
did.
half. And Anfield was up for it. I thought Klopp's decisions were brilliant, aside from Gakpo. But like, maybe you couldn't have known that Gakpo was going to be a total choke artist today, could you? Like, I
No.
guess I don't necessarily blame him for putting him in, but get him to turn up once you see that he's out there jogging. You got Luis Diaz and Harvey Elliott, who have been running for 100 straight minutes, and you're walking.
I didn't see that. I can't.
You're offering nothing.
I'm just more dumbfounded. I was so entertained by that game. So entertained. Like from the start to the end, very entertained. Good football all around from both sides. The chances. That is one of those games where those chances were inches. It's a game of inches. I was saying this during the stream. Everything that happened in that game was inches. Doku hitting the post, inches, right? The ball coming off of Foden, hitting the crossbar, inches. Gakpo off the crossbar, inches. Darwin offside for these, inches. Everything was inches. And it makes a huge difference. If we're playing Brentford or Sheffield United, we have 6 goals today. Right? You're playing I feel like the occasion, I don't know what I'm trying to say. I'm just so irritated by the result, even though the game itself was entertaining.
Yeah, because now you look at where once the dust settles and the match is over, okay, we have a draw. Now you look at the table, we're not top anymore. We're not even close in goal differential. So the reason this really burns is because you take a draw against City, sure, generally speaking, but I said it earlier, it's not good enough because now you're not in first anymore. You do not hold the cards to your success anymore. We do not control anything anymore. If Arsenal want to win out, we're done. If they can do that, which is very hard to do, there's nothing we can do about it. We could play perfect the rest of the year and we will not have a trophy from the Premier League.
That would literally, all I would do was think back to this game and the Tottenham game. Like, I'm not thinking back to the missed chances we had, dude. I'm not, because those happen every game, right? That it just happens. I'm thinking back to actual mistakes, like quantifiable, observable mistakes, if it comes to that. Zach says so mad right now. I do feel you. I feel you. Goose Step here says Arsenal will crumble, just like Bucky.
Just chill, Bucky, he says.
Oh,
I
just
do.
I thought you
I
said
need to
just like
chill.
Bucky.
I really do, though.
No.
It's and uh, both sides. I feel like. Well, there's a couple things I want to say about City. Uh, I'm not a fan of Kyle Walker by any means. He should have got a
No.
yellow early in that match, but he's a warrior. He he
There's no
he
no.
played his
Yeah.
heart out today.
There's no denying that.
Um,
For sure.
him and Diaz battled. That was incredible to watch them go at
Yeah.
it. They both got each other's number here and there. He should have gotten a yellow early on, though. He shouldn't have been able to play with that much aggression all second half.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. I also want to give a shout out to Ortega coming on and playing really well, actually.
He saw it out.
Yeah, he did. I mean, he was put under some pressure though, and he did well because I mean, dude, honestly, did we let me just ask you a question. Did we get lucky today with the penalty? Like I
What do you
know we
mean?
played well, but did we get or were we lucky to get a draw?
No, no, it's the complete other way around. They were lucky to get a draw, Kyle. We suffocated them the whole second half. The Foden
Yeah.
situation, that was a freak thing. That's not a chance. That's a cross that gets intercepted by Kelleher. Maybe it counts as a chance in the stat books. I don't know.
I think it hit his arm anyway, but
Yeah, but regardless, the Doku one, beautifully defended. Aside from the
yeah.
fact that it rolled through like four legs, like he was covered. He was covered there. It was a pretty good shot. That's unlucky, but how many times can you be one on one with the keeper and miss? When is
Good
somebody going to
point.
get a head on the ball from a corner? We had 3 or 4 corners towards the end there. Nothing happened.
I'm not even concerned with that. That happens all the time. Well, we score from corners a lot, but it's more the other chances. It's more Diaz having a shot and pulling it wide, right? Gakpo just completely forgetting what he is doing on the pitch while he's standing over a ball in the area. And what does he do? Lay it off to Salah?
He's just standing there.
He's just standing there. Him and Diaz are arguing over who takes it, and then I think he lays it off to Salah. Um, God, there were some other ones too. Just there were a few chances. I mean, Salah was a difference maker when he came on, but there were a couple times Salah was wide open on the wing, and he goes to cross it and he just kicks it right to Ortega, literally right to him.
Yeah, I have no problem with Salah though. I thought he was great. I got no problem with him. I thought everybody was great except Gakpo. I got no problem with anybody.
Yeah, no,
I
me
mean,
neither.
Diaz, you have to finish those. But like you
Yeah, but
still
he
played your
played
heart out and you still
exceptional.
put in a
He
shift.
played
Yeah,
so well. It
you
was
still put in a
unbelievable.
shift.
Absolutely.
I thought Kwanzaa
Kwanzaa had
became a
one
man.
moment,
Like,
one moment where I almost threw up, and he tried to get a. I don't know who was pressing him.
yeah,
Alvarez?
and he passed it away in the middle there.
No, he didn't even pass it away. He got dispossessed.
Oh.
Maybe that was a different one. But yeah, that was the only thing. But he's great. He's great. Van Dijk had an exceptional game. He had so many crucial tackles, like last minute tackles. And Bradley can defend, man.
Yeah, he's really, really good. And that's the other thing we got to remind ourselves is not that it really is any consolation, but we did this without so many players.
It's a
We
fair
did
point.
this with Elliott, Bradley, Kwanzaa on the pitch. Like Kelleher still deserved to
Crucial
win, I
save
think.
also. Crucial save in the
Yep.
I think it was the second half.
I
Really
think
good
as
save.
a neutral, like it's a beautiful draw.
Oh, if you're a neutral, that's a super game.
But it burns more for us because we had the clear chances. It's something if somebody makes a great save. Phil Foden gets in on the right side. Kelleher sprints out, saves the shot.
Mhm.
That's a great play by Queevy and Kelleher. Diaz, this guy's not saving your shots. You're just kicking it into the stands. That's the problem. You can't even put it on target? That's why we deserve to win. Because
Fair
with
point.
our because with our chances, they weren't even saved. You're just blasting it wide.
Yeah, blasting it wide. There were a couple saves. Really only like 2 saves.
There was a few. I
But
mean, they had saves, but like it can't be that hard. I
I
don't
mean, it's
know, dude.
hard.
I'm literally just at a loss for words.
Me
Yeah, but how
too,
many
me too.
chances do you need? How many chances do you need?
Yeah, apparently more than we had today.
Diaz just got 2 one-on-ones with the keeper back to back. Some guys don't get that in a whole season. And he couldn't even put it on target.
It's bad. There were so in that second half specifically, there were like 3 or 4 times where I'm just like, "How did we not score there? How?" It just desperate defending. It was meant to be a draw. It was literally meant to be a draw. We'll wrap this up with player ratings, Steve. Let's start with Kelleher.
You want numbers? We're going to do legit ratings. Okay, you do this every time.
Legit ratings.
All right. I'm going to go,
Instinct. Go first instinct.
yep, 7.
Kelleher. I'm gonna go 7-5 for Kelleher. He had a good save. That goal, I I don't think he's really at fault too much for that goal, but maybe he is. So I'm still going 7-5. Um, Bradley, dude, I'll give I'll give Bradley a 7-5. I want to give him an 8, but I can't because he had that one chance where all he had to do was shoot, and he decided to cross it. All he had to do was just put the ball on target. So I'm going
He should have
7-5.
7.
7. Okay.
Yep,
Kwanzaa?
7.
Are you just going sevens across the
Oh,
board?
seven's like the 6 or 7's like the starting point. If you do
Yeah.
your job, but not exceptionally well, you get a 7 for me.
Okay.
6 or a
So
7.
then, so if we're talking like that, then I'm giving Kwanzaa a 7. I'm giving Van Dyke an 8 then.
Yes, 100%. I'm going to give Van Dyke an 8. I don't think he was too as big of a threat as we needed him to be on those corners, but I mean, we're not talking about Erling Haaland at all, are we?
No,
We
dude,
haven't even
defensive.
said that name. We haven't even
No,
said that name.
no, he
And that's not
completely
Jarrell
took him out of
Kwanzaa.
the game.
Yeah.
Completely took him out.
Inadvertently in some ways too. He wasn't pocketing him the whole game.
Right.
But he just knows how to handle those big time players. Virgil for me gets an 8.
Yeah, I'm giving
And
him
you
an
go
8 too. It
Gomez.
probably could be higher. Gomez, I want to give Gomez like a 7, 6-5, 7.
Why?
I don't know. I can't think of anything like throughout the game. No, I'll give him a 7. I'll give him a 7. What are you giving him?
I think Gomez was really, really good today. I'm giving him an 8.
Fair? Okay.
He fought. It's effort's a big part of this. He didn't stop. He just kept going. He wanted it. He just really, really wanted it.
Okay. Fair. All right, let's go into the midfield then. What are you giving Endo?
7.
See, I'm giving Endo another 8. I think Endo was he just so solid. He didn't do anything wrong. He didn't lose possession once. He was in his position. He won the ball back when he needed to. I don't remember a single point in the game where Endo made any sort of anything resembling close to a mistake. So I probably could give him a 9, but the 9 is reserved for McAllister. I'm giving McAllister a straight up 9.
Yeah, McAllister was immense. He gets a
How
9
about
from me.
how about Soboslai?
I
There's
like
another guy
watching
with
him.
missed chances.
I like watching him play, but something's just a little bit off. Um, he got taken out. I mean, he wasn't bad. Give him a give him. I'll give him like I'll probably give him another 7. I'm on the 7 train right now.
I want
I
to go
think he
back to
was fine.
Soboslai in a minute, but Ryan, we were literally talking about this at the start of the stream, bro. It was just exact analogy we used. So, Soboslai, I noticed he was playing much more confident today than in his last few matches. He's outside of the boot passes, little feints, but he didn't convert his chances. I'll give Soboslai another 7 as well. Let's go to the front line. Let's start with Diaz.
Diaz
I
for
can't.
me, the chances really burn.
They
It
really do.
really, really hurts, but I can't let it cloud what he did today and the shift that he put in today and how he never let them rest back there and how he pressed and he ran and he he just did a really good job aside from the finishing there. That's for me why I'm giving him an 8.5.
Okay, so I'm gonna give
Like
him.
he's up in the 9 range for me, but
I want to give him
you
an
have to
8 as
put
well.
something at least on target.
Right. I want to give him an 8 as well, just because I agree. Up until he got in position to shoot, he was electric, absolutely phenomenal. Nunez, dude, I need to give Nunez like a 6.5 or a 7. And the only reason I'm doing that is because he was offside 6 times today.
Yep.
He just ruined it. Now, he played okay. I don't think he played particularly bad, but just those ruined it for me. What about you?
7.
And then let's go.
Standard performance.
All right, what about Elliott?
8.5.
I'll give Elliott an 8. There were some moments at the end of the game where his passes were just way too soft. Like he needs to be putting some pace on the pass, but aside from that, I'm just nitpicking. Um, we can do the subs if you want. Salah coming on,
8.
yeah, 7.5 for me, just because of those crosses. And who else came on?
Gakpo.
What are you giving
Like
Gakpo?
you can't give a 0, right? He was a 1. He was useless. We played with 10 men. We played with 10 men once Cody Gakpo came on.
I'm gonna give
And I
Gakpo a
like
5.
Gakpo. I like Gakpo, but Kyle, when you watch him, does he even look like he belongs on the pitch in a game like that? You know how these fixtures are with City.
Yeah,
Gakpo is too lanky and I don't want to say slow, but like rigid to be out there.
he just hasn't had it, man. When he first started here, he was electric. He was so good. I don't know. I don't know. It might be his size. You might be onto something with his size. But
I don't
regardless,
know.
today it just wasn't good. Today it wasn't good. I'm giving
He
him a
did
5.
nothing.
Yeah, I'm giving
He
him a
did
5.
nothing. He's got a 1. He
How
got a
many
1 for
subs
me.
did we use today? Did we only use 2 subs?
No. Salah, Gakpo,
Oh, Robertson.
Robertson.
I'll
I love
honestly, I want to give
Robertson.
Robertson like an 8. Robertson
Yeah,
was pretty good.
he fought.
He did.
That's all you can do in these games because they're decided by such weird scenarios. And you're right. The margins are even finer. It goes from inches to centimeters against City.
It's
Robertson knows that, so he says you just got to give it more than they do, and just hope that it bounces your way. And that's what he did. He's getting an 8.5 for me.
dude, there was this one sequence, and we'll close it off with that. But there was this one sequence Robbo had. He decides to take on John Stones or something. And I'm like, what is Robbo doing, bro? He can't dribble. He runs right into Stones and loses the ball, and then follows Stones to the corner flag and just pushes him over and fouls him.
Yeah. That's what you need to do, though.
I'm just thinking to myself, that's what I would do if I was subbed on.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely crazy. Steve, closing thoughts for the match today, bro.
Great match to watch. Had the better chances. The Diaz chances are more clear than Doku putting a great shot in off the bar. We put the ball in the net 3 times. One was a definite offside. One was a little bit closer. But either way, the ball went in the net. It felt like it felt like we deserved to win. That's my
Dude,
closing thought. It felt like we deserved to win. I said before the match during the Sunday summary, a draw is not good enough. I stand by that. We're in a worse position now than we were the last few days or even 2 hours ago. It's not good enough. We're not in control anymore. We we have to wait. We have to wait for someone to slip up now. And we've been here how many times? And it never
dude, the
works.
last 7
You
years,
can't
man.
be in this position. And we did it to ourselves because you had the chances The
Yep.
defense did their job. From open play, they let up 0 goals. Without Allison, without Konate, without Trent. Heck, without Robertson wasn't even in at that point. So you're without
Right.
all these guys. And it's a great set piece idea. Yeah, there's the pick and whatnot, but they practiced that. They planned for that and they executed it. And they
Right.
scored. And Kelleher was even there. He got a hit. He touched it. He touched the ball. It's still not good enough. It's still not good enough because you need to be able to score at home with the crowd pouring their hearts out for you. And you create these chances, you have to score. So
God,
now we have to wait for somebody else to slip up to win the league, and we have to be damn near perfect. It's always that way, but definitely now.
I feel inspired by that. That was almost like a pep talk. Look, I'm still irritated by the VAR decision with the penalty, more so with the inconsistency between calling that screenplay against us and not calling it today against City. I'll get over it probably in about a day, but when I look back on this game, I hope I'm not thinking to myself like, "Damn, we really had a chance there." Because, dude, when you look back at the games this season, it's not like last season. We haven't had times where we've been like we beat ourselves. We've been so good this season, right? We don't like the Arsenal loss. That's fine. I can take one loss. Tottenham we had to score on ourselves to lose that game. Okay, we've played so well. So I don't want to look back at the end of the season and blame the refs, but I feel like that's what I'm gonna do. The bright side of this, we just watched a great 98 minutes of football, dude. That was so entertaining, end to end stuff. It's definitely what I want to watch when I'm expecting Liverpool versus Man City. I don't want to watch a cagey game with no chances. That was entertaining, and I'm glad I got to witness it, but not the result we wanted, but at least we came away with a point. You
Yeah, I
said it
guess if there's
earlier.
a silver lining, it's that we didn't lose. But
Yeah,
still, a draw is not. It's just Kyle. We have 7 draws.
I know.
We draw every 4 games. A quarter of our matches are draws. I'm disappointed. I'm proud of the performance. I'm especially proud of the players. You got to be a little bit more clinical for sure. But man, this one just
This one
feels weird.
hurts.
Just
It
feels
fe-
fishy.
it does. It does, and I think it's cuz we played so well. It feels weird. But
The stars aligned. Kyle Anfield did its job. Those supporters did their
everyone.
job.
Yep.
The chance creation, balls from Mo to Diaz, balls over the top from McAllister, crosses, everything on point.
Yep.
Somebody's got to tap it in.
Just
You
tapping
shot
it.
19 times.
Hey, I'd like to take a silver lining though that everyone did their job except Gakpo. Everyone did
Gakpo.
their job
Who
except
says
Gakpo.
I'd sell Gakpo? No, there's a place in this squad for Gakpo, but man, I don't know how you can take Nunez off in that match. He's built for it.
That makes no sense. Taking that doesn't make any sense to me, man. I'd leave Nunez on every day of the
Nunez
week.
has had a lingering injury, which is the only thing I can think of, and you don't have anybody else to bring on.
Maybe.
Doesn't
Maybe.
Dan's have a concussion? Like, I'd rather
Oh,
see him.
damn. Yeah, good point. What was that after running
Anyways,
into the keeper? Anyways, guys, thanks for being here and
yeah,
giving your input. Steve, I wish you were under better circumstances, but we go on. We still have a chance to win the league. We just gotta lock in. Gotta lock in.
yeah.
Thanks again, everybody, and until next time, take care.